microphone. I've got nowhere to plug that in either. Right. Well, hello everybody. Hello. Friendly. That's good. Right, back to me. I tried to avoid putting my name up. I didn't put it on any of my slides. Unfortunately, your organisers here are a little bit quicker. They'd already got me up there. Really, I'm here on behalf of two organisations today, the University of Derby, but also IEMA. Has everybody in the room heard of IEMA? Few people? No. Okay. It's the Institute of Environmental Management and Assessment. Basically, an organisation for environmental professionals. So how many of you are actually actively involved with the environment? Or is it just a bolt-on goodie for your job? A few of you actively involved. Okay. Right. Well, that's the University of Derby. Education with personal touch, we like to say. We don't just do on-campus courses, we do e-learning, we do distance learning. We also do specialist courses such as quarrying ones, which do run over weekends. So we try to engage people and make it as easy as possible for people to learn. So that's what the talk's about. It's basically your stuff and your future. You know, a lot of you guys around here, I know, have been in the industry a lot of years, and you're going, yeah, trading, we know it. And you probably do. But what about the new people coming in? What about the people who come up as direct entries to you, who don't know the clay industry or don't have your vast experience? So consideration, how do you assess and work on your employees' professional development? Do you? Or is it just something that happens, or hopefully happens along the way? What are the short-term and long-term goals? This idea of making goals and actually working towards them. Do we do that? I know I can put my hand up, I'm one of the world's worst. I really should have some goals. And one day I'll sit down and think about it. But perhaps we need to do that. You know, the world's changing. It's getting hard. It's getting a competitive market. It's difficult. We need to make savings, government pressure, industry pressure. There's a lot going on. Perhaps we need to be more aware of where we need to be moving. And perhaps training can help with that. So how can IEMA and the University of Derby support you and your team in your existing roles and future careers? Because people are moving on. People will be moving into new roles. So IEMA came up with a thought. They wanted this building environmental knowledge, skills and leadership, and to look at a business case for investment and cost savings and opportunities. And they came up with a skills map, and you have a copy in your pack. And I apologise for the fact that it is quite small writing, but photocopiers are wonderful. You can always blow it up to A3. And they wanted to try and capture what skills were out there and what people needed to be at various levels throughout their career progression. So, looking at the skills map, you can plan where you are and hopefully see if there are any gaps. There might not be. But also for your employees, other members of your teams, where are they lacking skills? What is it that they need to learn or to acquire to move on, to improve themselves, to be of more benefit to your organisation? So that they can think outside the box, they can come up with new ideas on how you can save money, how you can save energy, whether the consultant you've actually employed is telling you what you really need to hear, or whether they're just missing a few vital pieces of information out. Not that they ever would. And where do you want to be? Where do you plan to be in the future? Now, the piece that you've actually got is just the top layer. There are other layers underneath this that IEMA are putting together, so that people eventually will be almost able to fill out a questionnaire and establish where they are and where they want to be. And with that knowledge, you can take it forward and you can invest in training. It might be on site, it might be with people you've already got, or it might be with organisations such as the university. Now, IEMA have various levels of membership. They start off with, I think now, there is one before the associate. I can't actually remember what it is. So the associate certificate is basically operational level. When you're moving up into management, you're looking more at the diploma that IEMA have accredited, and also you're getting to full membership level. So it's full membership of a professional body. And you've already heard today about how important that full membership is of any professional body. It shows that you've engaged. It shows that you know what you're talking about. It shows that you are active in your ongoing learning. Remember now, we don't just think that children go through school, go to university, and that's it. It's lifelong learning that we have now. And that's primarily because things have changed so rapidly. Looking around, I can see there's people of my age, and I look good for my age, I'm told, so don't think I'm as young as you think I might be, because believe me, I'm not. I remember the clangers and what was it, Trumpton and things like that. So I came through that idea of you went through and then you just left, but now we don't. You know, we've had to all grow up with computers. Computers weren't around when I was at school. Mobile phones weren't around when I was at school. We've had to gain that knowledge and those skills. And things are constantly moving on. To keep pace with the way technology is going, we need to be constantly training. So the skills map that you've got, it's cross-sector competency that they're looking at. So all you people in here, you're all involved with the environment. Sorry, but you are. You're using vehicles, you're using energy, you're using raw materials. You all have an active contribution to make. It's setting standard for environment and sustainability roles. The idea is that this will be taken forward. IEMA have already got the Institute of Directors involved. They're already talking to accountants about this. This is something that they hope to take forward and that will be rolled out through all industries. It shows a clear development pathway, a clear route for professionals. And as I've already said, the operational and managerial levels linking to full membership. So that is the map of the actual membership route through IEMA, from student, graduate, affiliate, that was the one I couldn't remember, associate, full member, and you can be a fellow, but also chartered environmentalist. So again, that's chartered status to a profession, which I know a lot of you will have with the clay industry. So that's the career profile and goals. Now I know most of you aren't career changers in this room. I know you've been in the industry a long time, but you've changed roles, haven't you? You've progressed from where you started and you've moved up the corporate ladder. Do you have an integrated role where environmental management is essential, or you need to at least consider it? Do you want to progress roles within your existing organisation, or for members of your team, the young up-and-coming people that need to have this knowledge? Because now everything is starting to revolve around the environment. We've been talking about CO2 today, energy use. There'll be waste management. There will be more and more legislation to do with the environment. It's not something that can be avoided. So maintaining your knowledge and skills, this awareness of new information and how it can affect the current role and your organisation. So legislation comes through, the new technologies that people have been talking to you about today. All of it is important. Upgrading your membership, either with IEMA or other organisations, becomes more and more necessary. Not only are you gaining extra knowledge, extra qualifications, but you're mixing with like-minded people. Today, you will take away something from the day, whether it be the fact that you've managed to get together and talk with old friends who you haven't seen in a long time. You'll have gained knowledge from the stands that you visited, from the speakers. So a lot of things you will have acquired that you might not necessarily realise at that moment, but later on you might think, oh yeah, I saw somebody about that, that meeting I went to. Get in touch with them, I've got their paperwork somewhere. CPD, again, it's important if you're a full member of IEMA, and I'm sure in your organisations it's the same. This idea of this professional development, and that's what you're doing here today. You are improving your professional development. And how does that work? How does that integrate with your goals or the goals of your team? How is that beneficial? How can it be utilised? So it's thinking things like that which you can then take forward and plan for your future, wherever it may be. Building on your existing knowledge and skills, which obviously, again, everybody in this room has. How many people have a development plan? Anybody? Ooh, that's good. Is it working?
Forced into it by HR.
Yeah. So you didn't want to do it?
Good.
We have some of that.
Oh, sorry.
How many people were forced into it, didn't want to do it? It's fine. Okay. Do you find it helps?
I think putting things on a piece of paper always helps. Whether you actually do it afterwards is another matter, but it does crystallise your thoughts.
Yes, yeah. And it gives you something to actually aim at, and you could look back at it later and go, oh, I haven't actually done that, but then it will remind you that possibly it is something that you intended to do. So appraisals and goal settings, are they detailed enough? Have you got something where you can actually go, yep, done it, great, and move on? Mentoring. Does it happen within the industry? Do you share mentors? Do you have people? Few nods? Yes. I mean, you have the great and the good here today, so, you know, take advantage of them. Grab one of them and say, hey, will you be my mentor? They can always say no, but they might say yes. Some experiences of people who've used the IEMA skills map. Charlie Simmons here from Stanner used it to identify where his skills gaps were. Benefit gave his manager, who wasn't an environmentalist, a structure to guide personal development. Also clearly highlighted areas where Charlie felt he was strong or weak, and set out clear steps so he could move his career on. So it shows how beneficial it can be to the individual. But what about the organisation? Well, here we have Becky Andrews from Balfour Beatty, who's the sustainability manager. I will let you read the comment because you can all read, and I don't need to do that for you. But by basically using the skills map, Balfour Beatty have won a number of environmental awards. They've taken their business forward, they've improved their environmental performance, and they can prove it because they've got it on paper. They can show how their staff are moving forward and how they're engaged with the process. So how might the University of Derby help you? Well, we run a number of courses. The MSc in Environmental Management, which is both IEMA and the Institute of Environmental Science accredited, so accreditation with the MSc. We also do an MSc in Climate Change, again, potentially a huge issue for the whole of the world. We also do short courses, so certificates in workplace noise and risk assessment, which again, I'm sure a lot of you have issues with noise, possibly with neighbours, traffic coming on and off your site. You might need to have somebody on site who is trained to do noise assessment. A lot of our courses, the noise ones, run at weekends or a solid block week, so we don't take too much time out of the company's time. We also do a lot of distance learning, as I've already said. Both the MSc in Environmental Management and the MSc in Climate Change is available online. So again, people can do it in their own time. More potential help from other areas of the university. In engineering, we have foundation degrees in management and production engineering. So again, your guys who are in production engineering, is there any new information they might learn? Any new skills they might acquire? Mixing with other people in different engineering sectors, would that help them to think outside the box, come up with new ideas for your industry? As far as clay technology, pathways leading to the HND and foundation degree, and Peter was going to be here today to actually represent clay technology, but unfortunately there was a bereavement in the family last night, so he couldn't be here. We also do minor awards in geoscience. So again, something that some of your people may find useful or may want to engage with. On the business side, a lot of the obvious business qualifications there. You can see MBA, BA in business management, HNC, HND for first line managers. Again, more focused on economics and environment. We also have BSc in information technology management. All these things are now linking. Green is not just something that sort of sits outside with the environmental manager. Green is something that is throughout the business. MSc in strategic management, and the MSc in supply chain improvement, which also has logistics side. We have guys now who are developing technology where you can put trackers on your products. So if you've got your bricks sitting in your warehouse, all nicely parcelled up in the packaging that we've seen, with a little sticker on, as soon as it leaves your warehouse, it can be tracked. So again, you know where things are, you know how they're progressing, you can plan, you can make provision. Also, we can help you to develop short courses which actually fit your own individual needs. So not specific, not already made, not just off the shelf, something that works for your sector. And finally, work-based learning. We take it very seriously at Derby because there's no better place to learn really than in the workplace. So if we can tie up courses and programs to your actual sector, your needs, your skills, we can mark assignments on things that you do in your own workplace, which means you're not doing two lots of work, you're doing what you normally do in your day-to-day job, and we can give you credit for it. So if you can enroll employees on virtual courses, you can add value to your company. We also will loan out academics. We offer hire these days. And build online learning platforms, which is what we've done with the Clade technology. It's what we're doing with IEMA's new diploma. It's a new world. We are playing catch-up in many respects. The world is moving very, very quickly. And without education and days like this, you can easily get left behind. That's it. It's coffee time as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you very much, Rosemary.